What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series The Last Command 4-pack. So this is a pretty cool pack where we get 4 figures from The Last Command, which was originally book 3 of Timothy Zahn's 1990s Thrawn trilogy, but then they turned it into a comic book, and that's what this is from specifically, since we've had figures from the comic versions of the Thrawn trilogy before. But it looks pretty cool with our cover here on the front. So of course we have Star Wars Last Command with our characters sort of featured there in the picture. Of course we have Stormtroopers, don't get that, but it's from Legends, as you can see, and then it has our 4 characters listed there. So we get this nice big box that's going to contain all 4 characters, and if we see from the top, it kind of has like that book view to it with the design. We have our characters listed there on the sides. Of course we'll go through them all and the 4 characters there, and then pictures on the back, so you can see pictures up top of our characters facing off, and then little snapshots of the 4 characters there. So that's pretty cool. But we'll open it up, get a nice little picture on the side, again all from like the comic version, and then of course listing of our characters and our 4 characters there. So we've got Luke Skywalker and Jade. We've had both of those before, so nothing really new, just nice designs for both of them that we've seen before. Then we get our 2 new figures of the box with Joruus C'baoth and Luke. So both of those look really cool as well. So getting those 2 new versions with a nice clone version of Luke Skywalker thrown in here. So it's cool. We get 2 old figures, 2 new figures, but they all look really cool. Again, filling out this set for the Last Command from that final showdown, and of course I'll go into that story for you, but it looks pretty cool with all 4 figures here. So I'm super excited to open this up and check it out. But let me go get these open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off with Luke Skywalker, which we've had figures like this before, of course, in his Return of the Jedi outfit. So just the all black outfit, which is always my favorite for Luke. So before we get into him, I do want to let you know more about the story. So it's set 5 years after Return of the Jedi. And then in this specific part, so like what the scene is based off and what was depicted on the box, Luke and Jade face off against the Dark Jedi C'baoth, where he reveals that he actually has a clone of Luke that is using Luke's old lightsaber. So the 2 Lukes face off against each other while C'baoth tries to force Jade into serving him, but the clone Luke ends up being lured into a trap and is killed by Jade, who's now using Leia's lightsaber, and this causes C'baoth to start destroying the facility they're in, and this allows Jade to kill him as well with the lightsaber. So I just want to give you a little bit of that backstory about why we have all these figures here together all at once, because it's the end scene of the story. But it's cool to have the Luke here, so I do really like this design. The only thing that's off to me about this is his face, because as usual for Mark Hamill, at least I can't really say that for this whole pack. I'll get to that later, but looks pretty good overall. You know, just have Luke in the all black outfit. As I said, always my favorite design for him. Love how it has the little flap with the white underpiece sort of showing there. Always like that design. So really love this Luke. Has a nice hair design. Look pretty nice overall for him, especially his longer haircut there. But then the Luke's face, like I said, doesn't look exactly like Mark Hamill. It's not horrible, just not perfect, and of course does have some shininess to it, so they need to knock down that shininess. But then we just got the all black outfit. Nice belt around the waist, of course, with the clip to hold his lightsaber and some little pockets around there, and the black pants all the way down to the black boots. Of course, the black glove on his missing hand as well. So looks pretty nice for this Luke overall. So it's a nice Luke. We don't have this sort of version yet. I will show you the closest one in design that we have, but this one's really cool. So happy to get this one in the box. Now, movement-wise, get that'll twist all the way around. Can look down that far and up that far. So, as usual with the Star Wars necks, not a whole lot of movement. So, we get the head movement that allows it to twist. And then also at the lower neck as well, we'll twist and rock with both of those. But still not a whole lot. But then we get the shoulders that come up to 90 with the butterfly joint back and forth. So pretty good range with that actually. And we'll twist all the way around. We get the single elbow joint that bends to 90 with the rotation. And the wrist will twist all the way around and hinge up and down for this hand. Then we go to the ab crunch, which is mostly just at his waist. So crunch back and forth and can twist all the way around. He kind of twists weird. As you start to twist him, he starts to get all sort of weird angles. So I don't know if something's wrong with the peggies on there, but he will twist around. Then we get the hips that come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. Single knee joint back to 90 with rotation in it. And then I do think he also has, a shin twist at the top of the boot as well. So small little movements in there, especially with twisting, can get all messed up. With the foot flexing back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty decent for Luke, has all the standard new movements with the single knees and elbows. So it works out fine for that. Obviously could have better range overall, but works out fine for what he's got. And for accessories, the only thing he comes with is his lightsaber, so his green lightsaber that he got in Return of the Jedi. So of course we can take the blade out and just have the handle, and we can obviously like hang that on his belt there on the peg, but let's just put this in his hand. So there's Luke with the lightsaber. That looks pretty cool. Like I said, this is always my favorite design for Luke Skywalker, in the black outfit with the green lightsaber. So this looks awesome. And like I said, the closest thing we have was this figure, which I think it was the indoor one that came with the camo and just took the camo off. I think this is the closest design we have in the all black, but it's got the single elbows but double knees, so has that older design, and of course doesn't have the belt or anything or the little flap, sword flap down there. So like I said, this is the closest thing we have, and especially the face. Look at how much different that is. Obviously this Luke has to have that indoor helmet on, so his hair is all flattened down, but the colors change and stuff is kind of weird there. So this Luke is definitely a much better Luke. Really like having this figure a lot, so nice to add this version, a better upgraded version of Luke, into our collection. And then we also get Mara Jade, which looks nice, which we've had her before. And as I mentioned in the story, she's the one that ends up killing Joruus and the clone Luke, and looks pretty nice overall. Now, we've had this figure before, and it almost looks identical. Like when I bring it in, we'll have to see if there's any differences. But just from looking at it off the bat, I don't really see any differences at all. Looks like the body is the same. Nothing's really been upgraded or changed. She does have the double knee joint. So again, it's probably just complete reuse of that older figure and wearing pretty much the exact same outfit. So like I said, I doubt there's really any change, but it's at least nice to have her. You know, if we didn't have the other one, it's nice to get this version, and she comes with at least one more accessory. But for her movements, her head will twist around there, of course, with her hair and everything. Can't really get it to go all the way around, but at least twist side to side. And she can look down that far and then up just straight on because of her hair. So, again, not the best movements, but it's mostly all because of her hair. We get the shoulders that come up to 90 and will rotate around. We get the single elbow joint to 90 with rotation. Wrist will twist all the way around and hinge up and down for this hand. With the ab crunch just under her chest, she'll crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. And then she does also have the ab crunch lower down, so with the cutouts, so she'll crunch back and forth there as well. So good crunching back and forth for that. The hips will come up toward 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist around, but of course this one has just straps, so it's hard to do, but this one will twist all the way around. We get the double knee joint, as I mentioned, that'll bend up that far to the back, kicking herself in the butt. And then we go down to the foot, that'll rock back and forth and twist side to side. So not bad movements. Obviously she has the double knee joint stuff, so she gets much better range with that, but just the single elbow, so she's going to have that limited range, so we can't bend her fully there, but nice range with the double knees and the ab crunch and everything, so it gets good range overall. But as mentioned, she does come with the normal accessories, but she does come with an extra. Oh, I forgot to mention her outfit. So obviously she has the longer red hair. Mara Jade's, you know, from the legend storylines of books and comics, so she's famous and I believe the wife of Luke Skywalker eventually. But we get her here in the all black outfit. Like I said, we've had this figure exactly before, so I didn't think about going into it. But high black boots, just like Luke was wearing. But then this, I want to say almost like jumpsuit, you know, from neck all the way down in black. She's got the belt around the waist, has a little clip there for her lightsaber, as well as a holster on her thigh for a gun. Small cream colored gloves there on her hands, and the scarf around her neck with some goggles in them as well. So obviously you could put those up on it, not on this figure, but has that, and the straps that go around there to her back. So just those leather straps there as well. But for that extra accessory, we do get this additional head where she has the like scarf buff covering her head. So if it's like in the desert or something, she can have this to cover up her head with those goggles on there as well. So we can switch that out. I can't fully get the head on for some reason. It won't fully go down, but there's just what it looks like. So if you want to have the head covered up there as well for a different look from the comics, you can have that option, but I'll just switch it back. But then the same accessories the other one had, we do get the gun. So she comes with her blaster. It looks almost like the Han Solo blaster. So that looks pretty nice. We can put it into her hand, obviously, or just stick it down in the holster. So we'll just put that there. And then she also comes with her lightsaber. Now, she didn't have this in the fight that this is depicting, but she has her normal lightsaber that the last one came with the magenta blade on it. Again, the hilt has the little hook you can clip onto the belt if you want, but we'll just put it in her hand for now. So there's Mara Jade with the lightsaber and the gun. So she has weird hands, like the lightsaber even barely fits into that hand, but this hand's designed more specifically for the gun. So that's why I went ahead and put the gun in that hand. And then like I said, she's almost barely holding on to the lightsaber with that hand. Her hands just seem a little bit too small for the lightsaber, but she still looks cool there. And as I said, we have had her already. So here is that older figure. So you can see some color differences. So this older one looks like it may have a little bit darker skin tone to it. Maybe the hair a little bit different color, so it's a little bit lighter shade now. But other than that, they almost look identical. Like I don't really see much off beside anything else. Like I said, just maybe some color changes, like the gloves look, you know, lighter on this newer one. So yeah, just little minor color changes, but otherwise they're almost the exact same figure. So like I said, not necessary, but she was just included in the pack, so we have her. But if we did miss out on her, it'd be nice to get her now. But then we have the first of our new figures from the box, which is Luke's with 2 U's in his name. Now he's the clone of Luke Skywalker that was grown from the hand that was cut off by Darth Vader on Bespin. So we now have the clone that's being controlled by Joruus C'baoth. So he is evil, but looks pretty good with this design. Now he does have this robe on over the top that I will take off, but as usual, Mike can play with the Black Series. They always give you just way too much fabric and material, and like trying to get it to sit on his head, you know, it'd be nice if you could get to look like that, but it's just all this fabric. You'd have to do a lot of work with it to get it, so no matter what, you can't really get it to look decent on him, so we'll just take it off. But there we have the clone of Luke now, which I said this face isn't the best, like especially Mark Hamill, but if you've ever seen Mark Hamill do any of his villains in like any of the DC shows and stuff, I feel he makes faces very similar to this, so I do get a lot more out of this and more similarities to Mark Hamill, especially from those villain roles. So I feel they actually did a good job with this face and carries off the likeness better than that other Luke did. So I think that's pretty cool, and has the hair similar, but it's still all messy and disheveled. So similar cut and design, just all messy. And like I said, the face just looks angry with the crazy eyes and the mouth all weird there. But then we get his outfit. So he has pretty much like the Jedi outfit on. I assume they reused this from like Obi-Wan, because that's what it reminds me of. Maybe the sleeves are a little bit different, but it just especially the main body reminds me of like the episode 3 Obi-Wan or something. Has, you know, the belt around the waist with the pockets and stuff. So that just all looks like straight from Obi-Wan with the tan collars. But then we get some tan legs that go down, and then it goes down to the boots that he was wearing on like Dagobah, or at least a very similar design to them. So that's what those look like more to me. Looks pretty awesome for this Luke. Like I said, not really necessary character because it just looks like an off version of Luke, which is, you know, it's an evil clone. So I don't think it'd look too good on a shelf because you just think it's another Luke Skywalker in a weird outfit. But I think it's cool to get a clone of Luke Skywalker. But for movements, the head will twist all the way around, can look down that far and up that far, so again, not much range in the neck for that. The shoulders do come up to 90 and have the butterfly joint back and forth in there, and it'll rotate around. We get the single elbow joint to 90 with the rotation, and the wrist will twist around. It's hard to twist all the way around, but you can get it in there, and then it should rock back and forth as well. But with the hand sitting deep inside the arm there, it's kind of hard to really get it to move. Then we get the ab crunch at the waist, and it'll twist all the way around. We get the hips that come up to 90 and out to the side that far. There is a thigh twist in here as well, so where the pocket splits, we do get a twist all the way around. We get a single knee joint that does bend back to 90 with rotation in it, and then down to the foot will rock back and forth and twist side to side. So decent, once again, the standard Black Series, so not the greatest movements ever, but pretty decent for what he's got. Now, accessory-wise, he does come with that cloak, as I showed you, but way too big, so I'll leave it off. But then he does come with Luke's old lightsaber. That was also Anakin's old lightsaber that Obi-Wan gave to Luke in A New Hope. So we get that lightsaber with the blue blade. So since the hand was cut off with that, it was gathered from Bespin, and the hand was used to make this clone of Luke. So it's cool that he has that as well. So let's put this in his hand. So there's Luke with his lightsaber, so that looks cool. And here's the other Luke, just so you can see the likenesses between the two. So like I said, I just feel I see more Mark Hamill in this clone version just because of that evil look. But both of them look relatively decent. Like I said, never perfect for him. They can never nail that down. But this at least does a pretty good job to me, and I really see it in his face, especially for his evil characters, which this is, so it kind of fits perfectly. And our final figure of the box is Joruus C'baoth, who is a Dark Jedi and a clone himself of Jedi Master Joruus C'baoth, who was a Jedi prior to the Clone Wars. That was created by Palpatine during the Clone Wars, and after Palpatine's death, he was sent out to the planet Wayland, and he took it over using his Force powers to keep its people in check, where later Thrawn arrived to get the weapons that were stored in the Emperor's private storehouse, and the two confronted each other, but they formed an alliance knowing their connection to Palpatine, with Thrawn promising Joruus Luke Skywalker, Leia Solo, and her unborn twins to take control of and form his new Jedi Order. So it's cool to have Joruus in a figure, and looks pretty awesome. Every time I saw him, like in the books when I was younger, I always thought it was just like a weird evil version of Obi-Wan. So it's cool to have him here. So it's got an old look to him, obviously, like old in the face, and the face kind of looks like Gandalf as well from Lord of the Rings. So he's got a long gray beard and long gray hair as well. That looks pretty nice and molded there with a face, you know, looks just like an old man with all the wrinkles in his face. But then we get his outfit. So he has this brown outfit on. So he does have these wraps that go up and over his body and hang down into the front like a robe design as well. And then under that we do have like a fabric dress piece that sort of hangs down around his leg. We have the sleeves up, so as most of his arms are showing. He is shirtless, so you can see his abs in there. And he also has a necklace around his neck. Not sure what that is, didn't see anything mentioned about that specifically, but he does have that necklace on. And then we can go down under the dress. He does have some pants on there, so some like tan pants going into some brown shoes that are like a sandal form, at least on his feet, so you can see his feet in there. So overall, pretty nice looking figure, and awesome just to really get this this and an awesome design for him. But for movements, the head will twist, of course, with the hair and beard. Just going to twist a little there, and it can look down that far and up that far. So a little bit of movements back and forth, so not bad for that. The shoulders come up to 90 with a butterfly back and forth, and it'll rotate all the way around. We get the single elbow joint to 90 with the rotation in it, and the wrist will twist around and hinge up and down for this hand. Then we get the ab crunch. Now he does have an ab crunch there, but with the design it's hard to really get it to crunch, so it's mostly just at the waist, crunch back and forth, and then we'll twist around at the waist as well. Then we can go to the legs. Of course, got to get all the dress piece out of the way. And with that, the hips do come up to 90 and out to the side. Get a thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint that'll bend up that far to the back. So interesting, a newer figure here that has a double knee joint. And then we get the foot that'll flex it back and forth and twist side to side. So really good movements for him. Has, pretty standard for Black Series, so nothing out of the ordinary, but pretty good for what he's got. But accessory wise, he does come with his lightsaber. So we get this lightsaber, nice handle there. Hilt design looks pretty cool with the red blade, of course. So we can put this in his hand. So there he's got his lightsaber. But what's really cool is that he also comes with lightning effects for his hands. So like we've seen with Palpatine and stuff, we get the lightning effects. So let's at least put his left hand on. So there's Joruus with the lightning effect shooting out of his hand. So that is pretty cool. So really cool figure. This is the figure I was most interested in this pack. Hopefully they will release him individually just so it can be easier to get out there instead of this 4-pack, because I just think he looks cool. Just to have him as a figure on the shelf I think looks awesome with his unique design. Not every Star Wars character looks like this. So I think he looks pretty cool there, and a nice awesome figure to add to the collection. Well, there we got our 4 figures from the Star Wars Black Series Last Command box, where we've got Luke Skywalker, Mara Jade, Luke, the clone of Luke Skywalker, and Joruus C'baoth. All 4 are really cool. Love these designs. Like I said, really like the Luke. This is my favorite design for him so far. Mara Jade's nice. We already have her, but she's always a good character to have. The clone Luke is awesome, as well as Joruus. Always nice to have him with that awesome design. So really good pack in my opinion. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed my review, let me know what that like, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.